mind, y'all. Y'all think it's me. I'm telling you, it's her.
Start your day with that. That is my message to the world.
All right, I am here with my oh my goodness. Okay, my new sister. I just look at these locks, y'all. Look at these locks. I'm here in Delaware, and I just got my locks retightened because your sister was looking real crazy. I was looking real rough. So let me tell you, Irene, I came in, I walked in, and I'm coming into a home, but I had no clue as to what I was about to step into. She has completely transformed the bottom of her home into an actual salon. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you like a little quick glimpse of what I'm talking. Look at that, the shampoo bowl. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the chair. I mean, this is. I'm amazed. So as she was talking, I'm sitting here, like I cannot believe that she has such vision to literally not just invest herself into a trade that she felt like could literally provide for her family, but then she took it to the next step and said, you know what, I'm gonna bring some excellence to this, and I'm going to fully invest in this. And you may be thinking like, you know what, Irene, she got it all together. I mean, the girl got a business, and it's looking so great. But you know what? As I sat here, I learned more about Irene's story, and she's going to share that with you real quick. I think, I know that you are going to be so encouraged by this. Irene, just talk to us about, what you just shared with me.
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Irene, and I would just like to encourage all of us as women. I have been through a divorce and custody case in less than a month, but I have seen the faithfulness of God through the whole transition. I have been through numerous hurtful things. I don't even know how to express myself, but I just want to encourage you, that when you believe in God, there's nothing impossible. When you believe in God and love, sometimes we make choices. I made really difficult choices, bad choices.
Yes.
I was trying to...
Okay, share that part. She's trying to escape over it like, overall,
So I got into this relationship.
Yes,
okay?
there we go.
I got into this relationship. I thought, you know what? I'm getting old.
Yes. I
need to have a man in my life. I need to go and get kids. I need to have a family. And I was like, God, you're taking too long. So let me help you. Let me help you do this. So I thought, if I can get a guy and I just show him how to be nice, pray for him, fast for him, take him to church, we'll be able to be a family. But that is not how God does his things. And I learned it the hard way because I went through a very bad relationship with him. We were dating. I trusted him with my finances. I trusted him with my vehicle. I trusted him with my life, my body, everything. And he definitely took it for granted. I ended up losing my car to DUI, which of course was...
How many times did you lose your car?
I lost my cars. I had 3 vehicles and I lost all 3 of them through DUI. And this is so sad because, this is a man I trusted with my life, and it broke me every time. And every time would come and say, babe, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it again. In a span of 3 months, I lost 3 cars. And then now in the last accident, of course, he had his friends in the car. His friend ended up dying, and he ended up doing time just because of this alcohol, and it killed me, crushed me. But yet again, I said, you know what? Let me give him a chance. Maybe. He loves me. At least he loves me. Even if he does all these things, he loves me, And I waited for him to come out. I hosted him. When he went in jail, I was like, let me get pregnant for him. Maybe if I get a baby, when he comes out of jail, he's not going to leave me. He's going to stay with me. Wrong choice. But I thank God, children are a gift from God. And even when we make mistakes, God always brings us back. Mm-hmm. So he went and then came back. When he came out of jail, of course, now... before he came out of jail, I didn't have a place to stay. I had lost the 3 vehicles. He had maxed my card. I didn't have any money. My pastor hosted me for some time. I had to get a roommate to stay with her. And then it was just a struggle. But I saw the hand of God because I was able to buy a home. And me buying a home, it was God.
Okay, no. You're not going to soothe over it. Okay, look, let me tell you. This home story is gonna blow your mind. All right, and I didn't even tell you that this salon that we're standing in right now, like she literally paid cash for this. Okay, so this right here, she's a planner, a saver. But when I tell you, when God steps in and he's like, let me show you who I am. I know that your plans, but let me show you who I am. So listen to this story.
So this is what happened. You know, one time I went to get mail when living in the apartment with my friend, and I was like, God, please bless me. I want a home for me and my children, and I want my own space. You know, it's not easy living with people. So I went to the mailbox and got mail, and then there was this advertisement of these houses. So I took the paper and I told my daughter, hey Tess, let's go and look at these houses. And that time my son was about 2 months old. So we went to the place, and then we found the guy in the office, in the showroom. And I said, hi, I found this in the mailbox, and I just wanted to find out what can I do to be able to buy a home? You know, what do I need to qualify? So he said, okay, I'll take this key, go look at that house and tell me if you like it. Then we can talk about the numbers when you come back. So I took the key, we came into the house. We got in, went upstairs. I loved it. I was like, oh, okay, this house is tiny, but it's perfect for me, my daughter, and my son. And then I was looking at the house. He came, Colin, I remember his name. Colin came and said, hey, Miss Irene, are you ready? You know, let's do the numbers. I said, no, I was just looking. I can't afford to buy the house. Right now where I am, I can't. I just want to look. And then just let me know what I need to do so I can go and plan and save, and then I'll come. He said, no. This, you know, what do you think? I think this is your house. I'm like, I can't afford it. He said, wait. I have a sold sticker. I'm going back to the office. I will bring it, and I want you to take that sticker, hold it, and then I'm gonna share it with her.
And what were you thinking when he told you that? You're like,
I thought he's crazy.
This guy is crazy.
I'm like, what's wrong with him? I took this sticker.
Did he not hear what I said?
Yeah, I told him I don't have any money, and then I took the sticker, and then my daughter held the other hand, and he took my phone and took the picture, and then he told me, Irene, every morning you wake up, look at this picture, and believe that this house is sold and you're the owner. And I said, no, but that's ridiculous. But then again, I said, wait a minute, I'm a believer. Yes, Lord, I know I did things my way. I forgot about you, but I remember in your word you say, if I have the faith of a mustard seed, I can move even the largest mountain. So, Lord, I don't know why, but this seems crazy, but I'm going to believe you, and I know you're going to make this happen. So we went back to the office, and Colin is like, okay, now I need you to give me $2,500 to hold the house. I'm like, I told you I don't have any money. I just came to look. He said, no, just give me the 2.5. I said, I don't have it. He asked me, how much do you have? I said, okay, I have only $250. He was like, okay, can I write you a receipt? I said, no, I don't even have it here. Okay, do you have a checkbook? I don't even have my checkbook. Okay, can you go to your house? I'm like, what is wrong in my head? I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
Is he like
trying to sell the house
right now?
Yes. So I was like, you know what? I said, okay. He said, can I trust you? Go to the house, bring that check of $250, and in 2 weeks, give me the balance of the $2,500 holding fee. I said, okay, Lord, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. I don't even believe in this prayer, but you know, I'm going to believe that with the mustard seed you'll do it for me. And I drove back to the house. I wrote the check. I didn't even have faith, but I was so down, ashamed, and burnt out. I'm like, you know what, God, if there's any ounce of love for me, and if something you want to do for me, Lord, fine, take the wheel. So I brought the check back and I gave it to him, and he said, okay, 2 weeks. So here I am driving. I'm like, Lord, where am I going to get $2,250? First of all, I work at Amazon. I'm on FMLA, and I have these kids. I don't have any money. What am I going to do? Then I just went to work. So 1 week went, I'm thinking, oh my God.
With you being a planner and a saver, I'm sure you did, you know, when you asked that question, you did spend a little bit of time trying to figure, well, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that.
Yes.
But it wasn't adding up. You couldn't.
Yes, even if I did overtime, I was not going to come up with that money. God. With all the planning and everything. So I was like, you know what? I said, God. So I went to work. I was in the dining, what do you call it? I was not in the break room. I was in the break room. And then people were talking about, oh, Amazon shares Amazon. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, Amazon, haven't you heard? I'm like, had what? You know, the Amazon shares 1,700. Like, so what? But I didn't even have over 2 years. I'm like, yeah, so what? So, you know, my one coworker told me, you know what, Irene, there's this shares for Amazon, and you can vest it, you can take it, you can spend the money. I'm like, really? Where do I check? She's like, go check the dashboard. So I went to my dashboard, and then, you know, I'm like, whatever, everybody has the fuss. I'm like, there's nothing like that going on. So I went and then opened my dashboard, and guess how much money was looking at me? $8,000 and change was staring at me.
Oh,
on my dashboard.
Goodness.
And I was like,
wow.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
You know? And first of all, I was like, my God. And you know, God is so amazing. I was able to take the $2,250, and I went and paid the check. And of course, he asked me, where did you get the money? You said you didn't have money. I told him, oh, I got money from work. Then he said, okay. So now with the balance, so one thing led to the other. Because of a first home owner's loan, he told me, since you're a first home buyer, I'm going to hook you up with this lady. And then if you do this exam, you're going to get a grant for first home owners. So I ended up getting a 5,000 grant for first home owners. And then the builders, their mortgage company, if you were buying a house, then they gave you an extra 5,000. I got that too. Like, I've seen the hand of God when I just said, Lord, I surrender with all of these bad things going on. I surrender, and God just led me. And I was able to close on this house miraculously. And the balance that I had from the 2,250 is what I paid for my down payment, my closing cost to the T, everything. And I got the house. We didn't have anything other than our clothes.
You literally were just going in just to look at the house.
I just got in to look at the house.
And I think that's what God is saying. Like, I want you to, like, build your expectation. Like,
Yes.
give me something to work with. Like,
Yes.
allow me to be God in your life.
Yes.
You know how sometimes
Yes.
the little thing is like, yo, I can't afford that. Well, God, let me just believe for it.
Just to have faith.
Just like a $2 raise for my job, you know. But God owns it all.
God owns it all. As long as we just take that step. And the thing is, we are the ones who limit our minds. We feel like, I'm not good enough. I don't think I can have that. I don't think I can meet that level.
And you felt that way
And
just because
I
of what?
felt that way, especially with
What your spouse, what he was telling
what
you.
he was telling
and
me.
just,
My spouse would bring me down. My spouse would discourage me. Oh, you're sleeping around. Oh, you're this and you're that. Oh, who can ever want you?
on top of
On top
already the shame and the guilt that you may have had.
Yes, and then I was ashamed of myself, and I was like, what are people going to say if I leave this man? And after everything I've gone through, people are going to talk, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay. I will stay. But then again, I'm like, if I stay and I'm not happy, and this is not the will of God, am I going to please men or am I going to please God? So I used to have this battle inside me. Am I going to be a God pleaser or a man pleaser? Then finally one day I said, you know what, God, I'm going to. We had a ladies meeting at church. And fellowship is very good. I think sometimes it's good to just share, because it makes us open up, and we know that we're not the only ones going through this.
Yes.
So we had this fellowship at church, and we were talking about Abigail in the Bible, and it was a really good read. But at that time, I remember when I left the house to go for the Bible study, this man had said the most horrible. I can't even share the things he told me. That made me feel like I'm not even a woman, and I never thought I could be loved. Or even just be anything. I felt like I just could die, and the only reason I was living was because of my children. But then I said, you know what, let me go for this meeting. So I went for the meeting, and then Abigail, the whole story, how she went and pleaded with King David because of what the foolishness of her husband did, and then how the husband was so foolish and so full of himself that God dealt with him and killed him in the chair. And then I came back and said, Lord, if you're able to deal with foolishness, if you're able to take away, like you saved Abigail from all the foolishness that was going on, Lord, can you have mercy on me? I have done so many things that are against you. I went against your will. I did everything on my own. I chose my own man. I was praying and fasting for him to change, which is definitely not your will. I know you have a king set out for me who you will prepare for me. Lord, please have mercy. Just like you delivered Abigail in the Bible, deliver me and bring my king when the time is right. But I'm ready to listen to you and just take me out of this situation. And I prayed for God to take me out of this marriage, because it was just going to kill me at the end of the day. It was just going to kill me. And God did it. God did it. God did it. It was bad because he was an alcoholic, and he would be very violent with his words. He was violent with his words, just tell me things that I can't even share them, but he would kill me with his words, and then sometimes he would threaten, not hit me, but maybe hit a mirror next to me, or throw something next to me, to intimidate me, but then
what about that couch? Remember the couch that you told me about?
Yes, and I bought this outdoor couch furniture. I was waiting for springtime when we can sit out with the kids and just have fun, and I bought them and they shipped it. When they delivered it, I told him, oh, please can you, take care of the put them to get it together. He was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. For 2 months, he never did it. So me, the way I like planning myself, I was like, you know what, I'm going to contract somebody to come and work on it, and I pay them to do it. So I got this guy from Lowe's. He came and did it. When he came from work in the morning, he went to drink. Then I called me and said, why did you put the seat? Who put that seat together? I told him I got somebody to work on. Why did you do it? I told you I was going to do it. I said, but it took too long, so I got somebody to do it. And he took it from the deck and dropped them down. And even now, I still have them on the deck.
That's how you knew something
was not right. I
And
knew
then
something was not right.
the meals he was cooking with
And then,
ketchup
oh
and
yeah,
all that kind of
oh
stuff.
yeah. When
like,
he would drink, he would take like garlic, a whole bulb of garlic, and he'd take ketchup, and he would take olive oil. He would take carrots. He would take lettuce. He would take beans, anything. Put them in the crock pot, cover it, and let them cook for hours. Then I would come and wake him up. And those days I would be so fearful of staying in this house. I would
did
not
you
even
eat it? People are probably
no,
wondering, did you
I
eat
would
it?
throw it in the trash. And then that time, yet I buy the food. I buy everything in the house. He doesn't give me a single dollar to buy anything. Yet he puts all this food, even sometimes meat, and cooks it. And the way the economy, times were tough.
Yeah.
And then he
yeah.
would do this. I would have to empty everything and throw in the trash. He would take like juice and buy juice for the kids, like a whole gallon of apple juice. Sits down and binge watch or play video games and drink the whole thing in one night.
Wow. No, I mean, I'm plant based and I love me some lettuce and I love beans, but I don't even think I would have ate that. You know what I'm
No
saying?
one
I'm
can
just
eat
like,
that.
no.
No one can eat that.
No.
And then when I saw this, I was like, you know what? This is not the future
Something's
God
not
has for
right.
me.
Oh,
This is not
I
the
love
man that
that.
God has for me. God has better things ahead for me.
So when you went to that meeting and you learned more about that Abigail story, and God delivered you from that relationship, and now standing here as a homeowner with this beautiful salon, you know what I'm saying, and how
Yes.
God has redeemed your life. Like,
Yes.
what do you feel like was the lesson for you that you can give to somebody else? Like, how would you encourage these women on here having walked through your journey?
All I can say is, first of all, you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for making
Yes.
a choice that was not right. Maybe you settled for something less just because you feel like it's too late, I'm not getting any younger, or nobody wants me, or I gotta do this. Forgive yourself for making that decision. And then once you have peace with yourself, ask for forgiveness from God, because God is a loving Father. He loves us. And He's just waiting for us to come back home, God, I am sorry. I'm sorry, Lord, I did this. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. Please forgive me, Lord. Just like the prodigal son when he went.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, He's just going to take us back. And guess what? Everything He has promised us, He will still give it to us, because He's a loving Father. And once you get that forgiveness from God, there's always, turn a new leaf. There's always a new page. And start make your goals. Write your goals down. Don't give up on yourself, and be comfortable with yourself. And then just know that God loves you, and whoever God has in store for you, because there's somebody out there for you and for me. And you know what? I know very soon we'll talk about my wedding, right?
Woo! You better let me know. Yes.
I will. So just, let's just be hopeful. Have hope. Don't let fear in. There's that scripture that says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of is it peace, love, and sound mind. So as long as we have that, and just let's plant ourselves in God. We cannot flourish outside of God. There's no way.
And I really believe that you really have that in your heart, because when I sat here and I asked you, so are you about to do somebody else's hair, and you're like, no, I just do 2 a day. But before Irene, before this particular journey was such a planner, thinking everything out, like trying to crush teeth, dot your eyes. And even though you still have those skills and stuff, you have learned to truly trust God.
Trust God, yes.
Like when you're like, no, I'm going home and I'm gonna be with my
because
babies.
like before that I would be like, oh my God, I'm gonna work on 5 clients, or I'm gonna do this.
Like,
installs,
just drive
I'm gonna
it,
do
just
this,
go,
I'm gonna
go,
do that.
go.
Yes, I'm gonna get this, and this guy only 20,000, no problem. I'll do 5 today and then 10 tomorrow. I have the whole plan, but I decided to just tone it down and let God take over. And just let God take over. Take the wheel. Let Him, it feels nice. I love being driven. Being driven. It makes me feel so good, But here we have to drive ourselves. But now, just imagine God taking the wheel. He will take you to, the way He says He leads us beside still waters. He will lead us where we need to go. Just let Him take the wheel, and that's it. And then the thing is, for me, I stopped thinking about when are you gonna do it, God. No, just say, Lord, thank you. Take the wheel. Lead me as you may.
And what does take the wheel mean? I mean, like,
take control, take over.
Control.
Like now, if now let's say in terms of dating. One thing I used to tell myself, I want a man who's tall. I want a man who has a 6-figure job. I want a man who has 5 cars. I want a man who doesn't have any kids. That is me making my plans.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, God, bless me with the other rib. I know I'm a man's other rib. Bring my rib. That one you have set for me, whether he's tall, short, dark, black, white, orange, green, blue, white, whatever.
What? SpongeBob? Ah. No.
If that's the one God has for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this because God, when she said, Lord, she laid it down and just said, Lord, bring me the man that you have for me. Yeah. God loves you. Like, he's a good father. Yes. So he knows your desires.
Exactly, yes.
He knows what you like.
And
so he knows if I
you.
really like tall men. You know, I was petty like that. I was like, Lord, I want muscles and I want, you know, and he loved me and he blessed me with that. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
He gives you
so you
desires.
don't necessarily have to be all specific and lay it out on what, you know, like worldly on what you want, but he knows what you want.
Because he created it.
And he knows what you need.
Yes.
You know, and he's a good father.
Amen.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so at the end of this, we always end with just saying, you inspire now. Okay, so when I count to 3, we're going to do that.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
You inspire now.
Awesome.